Two Seasons. The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Seasons is a game in the Zelda franchise and sister game to The Legend of Zelda Oracle of Ages. Its unique gameplay involved having to change the seasons to solve puzzles. I find this game much easier than the other because of the hard puzzle in the dungeon with the ground that changes the color from red to yellow. I hate this puzzle. Yeah. Anyway, unused items. There are two items within the game that the player can't obtain during normal gameplay. By changing memory addresses C682 A button or C683 B button to the following values, these items can be obtained. 02. Pressing the assigned button punches. This has no picture in the HUD or inventory. It has no description. There are points in normal gameplay where you can punch, like if you challenge this box gloves guy. What was it called? Shots us when you're fighting Plano. Oh, right, that's what I meant. Or if you acquire a ring power-up that lets you punch. Yeah, if all two, if no items are held. None of those situations seem to map this item to the A or B buttons. What makes this item interesting is the ability to equip punching to the A and B buttons. Long hook. You remember, guys? The switch hook. Or the long hook or level 2 switch hook. An item that can't be found in the Oracle of Seasons and is only found in its sister game, Oracle of Ages. Even so, this item can be mapped to either the A or B buttons. It won't do anything when pressed. Only by changing memory addresses D202 and D203 to 0A and 01, respectively, can partial coding for the item be seen. Link goes through a similar animation of launching the switch hook as he did in Ages, but no switch hook actually launches from Link. The inventory screen has no description for this item. The video to the right demonstrates some of the things. Alright, let's go. Sorry, because it's so little. Well, looks like he didn't change these addresses, so you couldn't see if he shoot it, but he really shoot it, even if you didn't see it. Anyway, an interesting fact to note is that there are some unused values in Oracle of Seasons that correspond to values used in Ages. Seasons, Ages, okay, I think anyway, these values are 04, 0F, and 11 respectively. In Ages, these items are the Cane of Samario. I want it back. The Seed Shooter, I like this item more. And the Half of Ages, yeah. Likewise, Ages has item values that it doesn't use and Seasons does use. In Seasons, these unused items appear to be glitched out and it won't work when mapped to the A or B buttons. Even when the game is forced to use these items tracking, they have nothing like they do in Ages. Aww. Unused rooms. By using a program called Soul, one can find some unused rooms within the game. There is no way to access these rooms through normal gameplay, and the game must be hacked in order to reach them. Some of these rooms show things that some of the game's tile sets were changed at some point in development. These rooms will be organized from the current map group and map number from Soul. Subrosia 81, a simple empty room. When we exit, we end up in the hologram plane. Subrosia 8C. This thin room has two staircases and a doorway exit. Taking if a staircase will send you to Impulse Refugee on the overworld map. The door doesn't work. Subrosia 8D. Or a funny face, lol. Anyway, this room has three staircases and a doorway exit. As before, all staircases take you to Impulse Refugee. The chest in the room has one ruby. Due to the similarities and placement within the game itself, It is likely that 8C and 8D were going to be connected by the staircases. The door does not work. Subrosia 90, a simple house map without any exit. Oh. Subrosia 9A. This room has an old man in it. The pot in the left corner is sitting on top of a switch. And the pot is left or broken. The secret results on display, but nothing actually appears to happen. The switch is already pressed. The old man in the room gives you some money when you talk to him, and says what all the other old men in the game say when they give you money. The stairs actually lead to a place in town, Ruin 02 on the world map. If you leave the room and go back down the stairs, it will take you to the standard old man room. So perhaps this could be an earlier version of the rooms the old man had. Subrosia 9A is probably the most functional, unused room out of all the rooms listed here. No description. Subrosia A2. Another room with nothing in it except lava. The exit leads directly to Subrosia, but with a slightly change in some tiles. You see this up there? With such an exit leading to a map with no entrances at all, it could be speculated that the map on the right could have once it was structured with an entrance in an earlier build of the game. Oh. Subrosia A a strange room with no way out. The original and the corrected or the repaired, fixed anyway. A strange room with no way out. The chest in the middle contains one ruby. The left image is what the room looks like in its unaltered original form. Interestingly, if the area ID of the room is changed to 49, and the room's tile set changes, and almost all the new tiles seem to fit into place, the image demonstrates this. The door does not work. Low, on map 1, AC, a map with nothing interesting in it. The stairs lead to the Empire's refugee map in the overworld. On map 2, CD, a room with a chest and green lava. The chest has one ruby in it. And the stairs lead to Empire's refugee on the overworld. The room on the left is the original version, and the room on the right what it looks like after the area ID switched to 80. On map 2, CE, a weird room with tiles that are all over the place. The stairs lead to Empire's refugee on the overworld. As with the unused map above, the left image is what the room looks like in its original form. Wow, glitched up. The right image is what it looks like after changing its ID to 78. All the new tiles seem to fit into the place perfectly. Macro tree. Some maps will probably old version of the macro tree maps. Duplicate rooms. There are few rooms that are copies of rooms that are actually used in the game. These rooms are mainly from Horn Village. These particular duplicate rooms, however, are never actually used or called upon by the game. Overworld placeholder screens. Spring, or in Japanese Haru. Summer, or in Japanese Natsu. Wait a minute. Natsu is a character in Soul Calibur. So, lol. So her name is Summer. Anyway. Tom Aki. Assessing some screens in a season where you can't normally reach them, such as Gora Mountain in any season, but winter leads you to these pillar screens in the respective seasons. The base ground is actually different depending on the screen, such as Onyx Castle having rock instead of grass. Sprites are shared by all four variations in most cases. However, some screens you can't assess in specific seasons don't use these. Most are exactly the same, such as some Master Desert place you up there in the Sword in the Lost Woods. But there's two specific screens right next to Onyx Castle that show correctly in both summer and autumn. Despite screens right next to them using their both fillers. In autumn and in is this summer? Unused music, I show them right after I show this. Unused treasure chest to fold. I think this is too much for me to read. It's not this interesting. This confuses me. Link. Poking around memory addresses D00B and typing in the following values Some unused link sprites have been described. 28 through 2B, 54 through 57, and F4 through FF. Sprites of Link swimming with the mermaid suit. You can only get the mermaid suit in Oracle of Ages, so there's no use for these sprites. Bloop bloop. A0 to A3, Link playing the half of Ages. You obviously can't get the half of Ages in this game, so this go news as well. You're not supposed to be here. Get out. Nice jokes. Well, Aurora does appear in the game inside the marker tree. She sits behind the counter and only faces forward. As such, the sprites of her facing left, right, and backwards are not used. Background tile. This tile is used in the game as part of the background while in Holodrum. However, the sprite of the blue portal linking Holodrum to Subrosia sits on top of this tile, so this tile is never seen in the game. Cool. A state to a tile. It gets loaded with cave tile sets. Interestingly, in other tile sets, like ones used in dungeons, these tiles are replaced by tiles of the enemy armors. It could be a leftover from Link's Awakening. Ooh, cool. It is an unused state of an I, located in place just as the side-scrolling dungeons. The state to your right is lying. The state to your left is telling the truth. Oh. Wait a minute, what? Bad joke. The US version has the unused characters above. Just to note, there were many round black circles with the X's on them, and along with these characters, it is limited to just a few in the picture, but there were many more of those from where these characters were grabbed. These characters were obtained using the program TCRF. Man, my English is not that good. Version differences. There are some minor differences between the different versions of the game. Presentation screen. The Japanese version of the game has a presentation screen displayed before the Nintendo Capcom logos. It noticeably refers to the game as its English title. This screen does not appear in any other version of the game. Ending screen. The message saying that the adventure continues in Oracle of Ages does not exist in Japanese versions. So now I have to go back up all the way up. So okay, see you guys right now after I've downloaded the music so I can show it.